There he is,
There he is.
nationally acclaimed author and
Who?
coach and everything else.
Who?
Derrick Pearson.
Who is that? Who are you talking
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our radio station, Mr. Derrick Pearson. We call him DP because he's cool. All right. Yes, we are. Actually, we're live. So I forgot that banner was just there to tell everybody to when we weren't live. We are live now, though, so that's good. So let's go ahead
golf
and put that
wave?
out there.
You know.
The golf wave, yes, indeed. Good morning, everybody. It is time for Be Encouraged. So let me do what we always do to start the Be Encouraged program. Here we go. Right out of the box. Can't wait to see you on Thursday, brother. Give you a good hug.
Looking forward to it, man.
Totally looking forward. Ladies and gentlemen, come to Kilroy's. From what, 3 to what? What time?
7 to 10.
7 to 10. 7 to 10, Kilroy's.
Quick whisper. 7 to close.
Gotcha.
I have a sneaky suspicion that we will.
We're going to be there a little while.
Yeah, we're going to be there a little while. Just a chance to press palms, give some hugs and smiles, see some folks. So we're going to be on the other side of the DMV Friday night. We'll be in College Park.
Okay.
At the hotel in College Park. That'll be 7 to 10 Friday night. And then, I'll be at various places the rest of the weekend. I'll be bouncing around seeing family and friends. So
you're going to still be doing your DP and Stevens show, doing it remotely?
No, I'm going to take
a
couple of days. I'll call in. What's funny is that several of the people who are going to be on the show while I'm gone are going to be with me in the DMV and doing it by phone. So
that's funny.
We every Monday we have the legendary voice of the Maryland Terrapins and the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Johnny Holiday. He comes on every Monday. Always joyful. Some of the best stories you can put together. I'm gonna try to have lunch with him this weekend as well. So I'm looking forward to. I'll do the show tomorrow, and then head from the radio station to the airport. And then I'll arrive home sometime around 10.
That's right.
Well, it's truth for truth.
However, the other announcement that I saw got made, I don't think it was made just to me. It was just me?
It was. We're waiting for the official folks before we talk about it publicly.
Okay. All right, then.
It is. You know the news, and
all right. Well, we'll keep on the down low yet. Still,
it's
officially make that announcement.
Yeah,
that's exciting stuff, buddy. Very exciting stuff. I'm very excited for you, man. I really am. That's really cool.
Well, today's the first day of said deal, and looking forward to it. Yeah, it just you walk a little different, you talk a little different. It's deep water, but mainly in what we do from day to day.
Yeah,
is just to try to find some way to have impactful influence on the people and things around you, right? That you give people hope for what they aspire to and what they look. I think I've said it before with you that I'm ashamed of my dreams because I could never dream what God had for me. We all dream a little smaller.
Yeah,
we should. We all aspire a little smaller than we should. I just want to constantly say, keep dreaming. I could never even consider getting a TED Talk. That wasn't a part of my universe. That wasn't a part of my doings. And then to get a second one which just isn't, it's not that common. It's just not.
Yeah.
To be able to participate in a book, to be able to impact lives, to be able to coach young people. I heard last weekend from two former players from Woodson who both graduated from Air Force Academy and West Point. And it's so uniquely, you understand it more than most. The joy you get from watching young people who look to you for guidance and direction at whatever degree, and then to watch them shine and excel.
Yeah.
That there they are in their military finest, right?
Yeah. No,
And
yeah.
you just sit and grin.
Yeah.
And in truth, for all the things I just mentioned, it's the last thing that makes me smile the biggest.
Yeah.
Right? It's that when you get to watch young people,
it's crazy.
Grow, dream, achieve, attain. Look, man, I'm just in a place where I'm grateful, I'm appreciative, and I'm just thankful that the people in my circle are taking steps forward towards whatever they want.
You can work as hard. I don't know how this is going to come out because it's just off the top of my head, but you can work as hard as you want. But if you don't let God lead, you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just the effort that you have to make is excellent, and you need to make that effort. But letting God just take you, you will achieve the greatest things you've ever imagined. And the people around you will, as you just said. The people around you. Well, I've got a young man who is in my youth group who I don't know that I mentored him. He says I did, that kind of thing. I mean, I just loved on him, and he's a command sergeant major in the cavalry. He's well, I don't know. He's not in command right now, but he's a sergeant major, but he could, and all it takes is where they put him. And I got another guy who's a colonel in the Army, and he's wears his beret and he's, all that crap. And it's like, wow, I just never, these guys have attained levels that I'm just like so in awe of. I mean, he was a company commander and he was a kid. I mean, I only remember him as a kid. You know what I mean? I don't remember the colonel. I don't remember the sergeant major. I don't remember the guy who's running base ops. It's just these guys they're serving their country. That's, obviously there's people who I have kids that I've known who one kid with young woman was involved in NASCAR with Joe Gibbs' team, was his head of marketing and all these people. But to know about these guys, these young men who are serving their country, Sean Jarvis has probably taken 3 or 4 tours over in Afghanistan and Iraq with the cavalry in a command position. I mean, he's a sergeant major, so he's up there with the colonel and everybody else in the command structure. You know what I mean? So that's crazy. It's just crazy. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of him that he's attained that level, and he's a beast, man. God, Derrick, he posts on Instagram him working out. You guys, a beast. I mean, it's just incredible. So anyway, it's
been that journey of watching from going from coach to educator, and watch, again, as you said, young guys that I met when they were 13, 14, 15 years old, and watch them develop through those 13 through 18 years, and then from 18 to 22 to watch that 13-year-old kid in your mind sitting behind the pilot seat of an Air Force jet.
Yeah.
Right, and you see him strapping in with the helmet, or you seeing the guys who are going through their various trainings, and I think I figured out coaching when I recognized that it wasn't that I knew what they didn't know, is that more likely it was that I was seeing the greater version of them that they hadn't seen. And to be able to tell them that they were going to go do things greater than us coaches ever could. Right. And then to watch it manifest and be true, that there are some great coaches there in Fairfax County and Arlington County, Alexandria City, Woodbridge, Manassas. There's some great coaches in the district and in the DMV. But the greater coaches are the ones that accept the task of leading young men to live greater lives than their own.
Yes.
And
that's true.
When that's accepted and when that's fulfilled is when we should applaud the most. Like this is, again, these are kids that won titles, various athletic titles at Woodson, at Falls Church, at Washington Liberty, Wakefield, and then you see them as they grow. And it's just, like I said, we always say we're in it for the outcome, not the income.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Well,
but man, when you see the outcome,
yeah,
you just,
absolutely.
I can't even stop smiling just thinking about watching young people. And
yeah, I mean, as you said that, I was thinking of, a dozen or more other kids that I've seen and watched, and I know that are going to be awesome human beings when they grow up. And the women, especially the young girls that I've coached, that I know are just going to be strong, powerful women in this age that is starting to turn in the direction of equality for everybody, whether it be race, gender, whatever it is. We're seeing a turn in this country, and it's turning slow, but it's turning. And at least I see the turn, and I know some other people don't see that turn. Whatever, we don't need to get into the negative of it, but the positive of it is, it's without just with logic watching. There's an awful lot of good stuff going on in the world that, especially for youth and for others that didn't necessarily see that kind of ability to advance. And there's just so much incredible instructional. I just watched last night Major League Baseball. In the background of an interview, I see a young woman going over the batting swing with a player, and I was like, "There you go. There's a woman coach right there on a Major League Baseball team, going through how this guy needs to set his body when he swings. Incredible."
Well, it's and I'm not sure if you've had the opportunity to meet Jennifer King, but Jennifer King played for the DC Divas, and while she was playing, she was interning with the Carolina Panthers as a coach, and then she became an intern with the Washington football team, and now she was the first Black woman to become an official coach in the NFL.
Running backs coach?
She's running back coach with Washington football team, and Jennifer is a perfect example. Pretty good athlete herself. Matter of fact, I'm understating that when I call her a pretty good athlete. But her willingness and aspiration to learn and grow is what separates her from even folks who had played football at a high level themselves. Her ability to process information and then share that information. And I was watching yesterday, and they were going through, there's this big commercial, and there's Lewis Hamilton, the Formula One driver, and there's Tiger Woods and Serena, and then there's Jennifer King, from the Washington football team. And to watch her progress through this thing, and to watch people react to her and respond to her in the way that they should have all the time. Now they have reason to.
Now they have, right.
And she's there representing Washington and DMV at the highest levels.
Yes, sir.
Highest spaces.
That's
and right. I'm so stinking proud of her.
Yeah. Did you invite her to Thursday?
She'll probably, well, depends on what's going on. It depends on her
I'd
schedule.
love to meet her.
She may be on vacation. I saw on
yeah.
social media that she was on some island somewhere in the water. So
deservedly so. So. Absolutely.
She's had this. I mean, the last calendar year for her has been remarkable. I mean, think about it. When I was in DC last, which would have been 2 Diva seasons ago, she was playing for the Divas.
Yeah.
And we knew that she had moved through the ranks to intern level, but it was after that she got the Redskins intern and then got the full ride. Mm-hmm. So I tell people this all the time, and I hope they pay attention to it, that where you are in life is not who you are or where you're going. Like Jennifer, like that's just your location. That's just where you are. You're not done yet. We are constantly on our way.
You have other zip codes to visit.
Yeah, we are constantly on our way. And people say, well, I'm not who I am, who I want to be. I'm not where I am, who I want to be. Lee, we are constantly. When people say, I'm being impatient, no, be patient.
Be patient. All right.
On the way. There's nobody in line with you. The stuff that is meant for you is yours. It's just waiting on you to get to it. And Jennifer is a perfect example of a woman that was playing football for free and patiently learning the game and the process. And it's you just want to cheer Rich Daniel for him. And I don't think Rich is aware of how much opportunity he is providing for these women in the game that they play and that they love. Because when you see the young lady that's coaching in Baltimore or Chicago, those are all DC Divas. Yeah. And so look, DMV, look, DC, look what you did.
Yeah, exactly.
What you did.
Right.
That's all DC, baby. That's like you can't even wrap your brain around it. That stuff is changing. There's opportunities coming, and whatever your thing is, whatever that thing is that you are aspiring to, it's yours.
Right. Exactly. And I want to break it down a little bit. See, what people don't understand too is when you learn the techniques, whatever sport it is, you learn the technical side of the sport. Then your talent takes over. Your strength, your speed, your whatever. But you have to have the technical knowledge first for all that to work for you. And maybe there's some people, and we all know these guys, the guys that weren't the star of the team, but they become the greatest head coach because they paid attention, they listened, they weren't as fast as the other guys, they weren't as strong, as big, as whatever as the other guys, but they technically knew at least as much, if not more, about the game than those guys who just were running on their talent. And they were teaching them even on the field sometimes. Dude, you need to hit that hole on the right. You got the offensive lineman who's throwing his thumb over to the right side to the running back knows where to go, or knows that that's the best place for him to hit. I had a guy, Clint Davenport, was a friend of mine who played for the Chicago Bears. And, guess who was running behind him when he was a rookie? He had Walter Payton running behind him when he was a rookie. Wow. And Walter's like going, talking to these offensive linemen saying, listen, just give me a little sign behind your butt when you see a weakness or you see somebody who's you're going to be able to pancake, and I'm going to come right up behind you over your back and go, And that's what he told me. He said, Walter would just take us aside and say, let me know. Just give me a time.
That's when the difference between good, great, and the best is that when somebody with Walter Payton's talent becomes skilled in the game. See, your talent is your ability, things that you were born with. Skills are things that are acquired. Right? Things that are acquired, and that is often intelligence, awareness, experience. And then when you put those things together, both at a high level, that's where magic happens. That's where those exceptional people who can share that information, and that's where leadership comes. Leadership is really the ability to get out in front of things and see it before everybody else and tell them, hey, this is the way we're going and how we do it. We were lucky in Arlington. At WNL, I mean, look, I got to play tailback behind two NFL running linemen, like Robert Oxendine, who may have been the most underrated lineman to come through Northern Virginia. Ended up playing in Tampa and played.
I recognize the name. Yeah, I recognize the name.
In Tampa, and then Brian Blados, who was legitimately the first big man that I knew of in Northern Virginia. Big man, where at high school 6'6", 285, but could also run a 4.6, 540. Turned down.
That's not allowed. That's illegal. That's illegal. You got a ticket.
Yeah, that could have been an all district basketball player if that's what he chose to do. But at 6'6", 285, decided to focus on football, and rightfully so, as he went on and he played left guard in this Bengals Super Bowl next to Anthony Munoz and for Boomer Esiason, right? Wow. So you learn what greatness looks like, and then you're able to move guys forward. Just exceptional. The blessing in that is again Brian may be one of the most intelligent athletes. I mean, Robert Oxide, of course, who got into Duke on his academics. You got to be pretty smart. But these were two legitimate guys that love the game. They learn the game, and then their ability to learn more as they move forward. That's always the line for me. Guys like Charlie Garner in the area who did that. Hubert Davis from Fairfax, who is now, the head coach of the University of North Carolina.
Grant Hill, baby. Grant Hill.
Who's able to make it down for everybody. So we've been fortunate.
Slam dunk. That's
right. Like we've been fortunate that in that era of Grant Hill, that right next to him in that starting lineup on championship night is Crawford Palmer from WNL. Through all of that stuff, and his older brother Walter, who was a first-round draft pick for the Utah Jazz. These guys are all in this area of talent and skill, and they all had somebody pat them on the back and direct them and get them there.
Hey, Kara Lawson.
Kara
Lawson.
How
one of the most accomplished players, and where she is now coaching in the NBA.
Oh, she's coaching.
I'm sorry. You're right. She's coaching Duke. Right.
She took over the women's program at Duke, and I'll tell people this.
But she was in the NBA for a short period, wasn't she? Wasn't she helping?
Oh, she was with the Wizards. She was broadcasting for the Wizards. She was an analyst for the Wizards.
I know she was I know that. I mean, I remember that.
But
I had a chance with Channel 10 Sports to cover her games and to cover Billy Gibson's team and Kara Lawson and watch her. These are the things you remember, Derrick, is you remember seeing greatness. I remember seeing her taking a shot from the corner, 3-point shot, and we saw the ball go up, arc, came down, and it hit the rim, and it bounced to the other side. Well, guess who was standing there to get it? Kara Lawson. She knew when she released the ball, damn, that's wrong. And she ran the baseline, and she was standing there to get the and then she drove in and laid it up. And I was like, holy smokes, look at this girl. And then she played as a freshman starter for Pat Summitt. No one ever started as a freshman in Tennessee ever.
Yeah, that wasn't happening.
You
She
know?
went through. Look, she's such a great spokesman for the game,
Yes.
but
yes.
a great spokesman for how her leadership looks and sounds. If you don't follow her on social media, you should.
Yeah.
Because she gives the most insightful, thoughtful, inspired conversation of anybody that I mean, maybe she and Dawn Staley, who played at UVA. Those two side by side may be the two most, male or female.
Yeah.
The two coaches and what Dawn's done down in South Carolina, those two young women, for what they've done for other young women, might be as impressive as anything I've ever seen.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I mean, I remember after the state championship game that they annihilated whoever they played, I went and got her as the producer of the show and said, "Hey, listen, I want to bring you on the air to talk to the guys." And she's like, "Sure." And she was excited. She's like, "Yeah, I'll do that." And she jumped over the table, the broadcaster's table, because there were so many people gathered, on either side. She just jumped over the cable, put on the headset, and boom. I was like, I watched her and I'm like going, this is second nature to her.
Yeah.
This is second nature doing this interview with the guys. And luckily I had a guy who was a very good broadcaster, and he was able to just really, and afterwards he was giddy. He said, "Man, she was awesome. She was just right in there with me, and we were in a zone, and they just talked about the game, and she was talking about the different idiosyncrasies." I can't speak highly enough about Carol Lawson in my experience with her. I know many, many, many people have had outstanding and exceptional experiences with her. She's a joy. She's a wonderful woman. Obviously, she was mentored by Pat Summitt, who was the greatest of all time. And, she's going to be in that elite place one day. She's on her way. She's
a Naismith Basketball Hall of Famer. That's I mean, and she falls in line. Christy Winters, who was from South Lakes, another woman who now as a coach and can move along and do what she wants. Great broadcaster as well as a coach. For what she's doing, we're lucky in the DMV because it is such a compact area of talent and skill. And it's so much is required of you to excel in it that you have to work to get out of that space in the DMV. Nobody is given anything in the DMV. That's just
right.
That's not how this process is. So it's always with Dawn and Kara and Christy Winter, having Brenda Fries there as a mentor there at Maryland. Wow. There's so many really amazing coaches in that area that, I mean, again, when you've got the history and legacy of guys like Morgan Wooten and Red Jenkins leading, and now guys like Doug Craig and Tony Bentley and the coaches go on and on, Metris at Braddock, folks who are just there doing the good thing for the right reason and helping young people find their way and their path.
Right.
That's what's all that really is what it's all about.
And now you got me sitting here going, I need to start a sports show that's going to have all these guys on it, because these are some of the greatest people in the country and of all time, and we need to pick their brains. We need to get more from them, like I do with you. I mean, like we do together. There's so much great stuff that comes from your experience, and it's enlightening to a lot of people. To me, I don't care about other people. To me.
Well, you should reach out, because guys on one staff and at one time at Woodson at all the levels, of course, from freshman on the varsity, you had Barry Thompson, who we know, coaching. Myself, Dermia Marshall, who is now the head coach at West Springfield.
Right.
Austin Breezy, who should be a head coach somewhere, but he's also doing such great work outside of that. Doug Craig, all in one program, all under the eyes and watch and reputation of Red Jenkins. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
You had that kind of lineage set up for you. And there are other programs where that exists. I mean, you talk about guys like Kenya Hunter, who's from Arlington, played at Wakefield, was now the number one assistant at Indiana. I mean, Kenya was all Met. I mean, he was all Met with Grant Hill and that crew, right?
Right. And then we're not even talking about football. I mean, then in football, we've got guys who are in the NFL right now that are from this area.
Yeah.
It's just, and the coaches, the caliber of football coaches that we've had here in the DMV is also unbelievable. Lacrosse coaches. I mean, we have a glut. We have a glut of outstanding mentors and coaches in this area. And I could just have a coaches show and have a different coach on every single week.
I think it's a great idea for you, Lee. I think it's a great idea to reach out to coaches in that area just to have them talk about.
Just ask for their philosophy. What's your coaching philosophy?
Yeah. What do you?
And just we can do 30 minutes easy with that. And
the coaches are all there. And again, in this day and age, where with social media, there's access. So if you decide to do that, I'll fully cheer you on, and I'll be watching.
Thank you. That's all I need to know. So, I appreciate that. And obviously, we'll have you come on with some of them sometimes, some of your buddies, and we'll have you come on and you can pepper them a little bit with some stories.
There's some great guys. Again, the first guy would be Red Jenkins.
Yep.
The second guy would be Doug Craig, Tony Bentley, who's got his own. I mean, he's there at Wakefield.
And I know Brian, he lives in my neighborhood. So Brian Petrus is, he's a great guy, and I'm sure I could get him to come on. And I'm trying to get all of them come on.
I worked with Metris for a year at Braddock when he was pumping through James Butler, who just played the NCAA tournament for Drexel, AJ Alexander, who played for Urban Meyer at Ohio State. And how about this? That kid from Lake Braddock, who played for Metris, played basketball, but he played football at Braddock, went to West Point after 2 years, left there and went to Delaware. Dejon Lee is the CAA Offensive Player of the Year from right there in Fairfax County. Of course, they had to play in the spring because of the pandemic, but he was the CAA Offensive Player of the Year from right there in Fairfax.
Wow.
Look, man, the stuff is there. The kids are there. Stars are being produced, and more importantly, good folks are being produced.
Is he playing another year? Is he taking another year?
Yeah, he's going to come back. He gets the free year. He's going to come back. They made the FCS Final Four, and they lost in the semifinals. But he was
They lose to Madison, or they lose to Madison?
No, before that.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Anyway, that's great. Delaware's got a good team. I mean, they when they do play Madison, because they do in the CAA, there's some good games. They have some good games with them.
Yeah, those are two of the best 5 programs.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's exciting. I'll be excited to see where he comes out to and where he's going to play. Obviously, he's already destined to play at the next level, and hopefully he can work on his game and get to the point where he can be a walk-on starter at the next level, and that would be awesome.
He'll do whatever he chooses to do. He's that kind of kid.
I bet. Prince Addy was the kid that came out of here, and I don't know where he went to school, but I remember watching him play basketball for Lee. Unbelievable. He was very Allen Iverson-esque, and that's one of the reasons why he may be in Europe somewhere playing, because of his size. He was a small guy, but his basketball acumen was incredible to watch him play. And then there's coaches like the Bendorf brothers, who I've been very close with over the years, and so I know they'll come on and they've got stories and things that they've done to further. And there's assistant coaches, that these guys all had, who are also happy to be assistants, never wanted to be the big guy.
I never wanted to be a head coach. I never wanted to be a head coach.
Right. And just loved being the guy that the head coach knows is a better coach than me. But
no, I mean, you offer.
I'm just saying, I know as a coach, I brought in guys that played for me. I brought in a coach that played freaking Major League, Premier League soccer. He was a parent of one of my players, and I said, "Dude, come coach with me." And he's like, "Okay."
No,
all right, Lee. All right. He's English, and he came in and he played with us, and he showed, and just the, I was just the head coach. The head coach is really the organizer, the enabler. He's the guy, in my opinion, that needs to bring in the talent. That means coaching as well as players, and make sure that the game plan is set, and all. That's what a coach is all about. I mean, a head coach. I mean, the head coach gets in there. He knows all the stuff, but he brings in people who know the stuff that he doesn't know, and and it comes all full circle. So you have a full, incredible team, and you watch that. Dick Vermeil. Look at Dick Vermeil. I mean, he was great at putting together a team of coaches. I mean, look at Eric Bieniemy, who I don't know why he's not a head coach yet, but Eric Bieniemy there with in Kansas City with probably one of the best coaches in Reed in the NFL annals. I mean, Reed has had guys work with him and for him, and he's worked with other coaches. He and Bill Belichick came up together under Parcells, and you can just see the spider webs of coaches going out.
That's how it works. That's how it works. Before we get out, I'll tell you that Joe Gibbs and Joe Bugle and Beathard and the coaching tree.
Exactly.
That's where great coaches don't have a fear of being great in a room by themselves. They will bring along more talent, and they'll elevate themselves. So
Gibbs. You mentioned the one guy right there, Gibbs. I mean,
there it is.
And he designed game plans around the talents of his players. He didn't say, "Here's what you're going to do. Learn it." He said, "What do you know how to do? Let's make a game plan around that." You know what I mean? And that's what was incredible. That's why Mark Rippon was such a star. Mark Rippon wasn't the greatest quarterback ever, but he could throw the ball long, and he could call blocking. That was probably Bugle taught him that. But he could call the blocking schemes, and therefore the running game was incredible because he knew where the holes were going to be, and he called them, and he told his guys. And Rigo even said that. I just listened to what Mark told me to go, and I went there. Bam. Anyway, we've come to the end of our time. I got all excited there at the end. You bring that out in me, DP. But yeah, God bless you, man, and God bless you in your business endeavors. I'll just put it that way.
Yes, sir.
And so excited for you, brother. And I want to be involved with you, buddy. I want to be involved in that. Let me know what I can do, anything I can do. And God bless you. And we want to say thank you to Michael Gugliano and Tor Arsala for listening and watching. We appreciate you guys. I've seen several other people watching, but I wish they'd like so we know who they are, so we can give them a shout out. But that's okay. Thanks again. God bless you, DP. You're an MOG. Love it.
I'll see
Peace, man.
I will see you Thursday.
I'll see you Thursday. If I'm not there, I'm gonna kill myself.
Don't do that.
All right, buddy. Peace.
All right, bro.